Now, as you guys know, I don't usually do pay-per-view reviews on this show anymore. I think it's the one time I don't have to take any notes. I can kick back and enjoy a show. But after the Rumble, I do really have to say, and I do really say this without any sarcasm intended, the IWC, the ones that are out there just saying that WWE sucks because it's trendier, because it gets them more views, really have their work cut out for them after the Royal Rumble. Every single thing, except for the main event, I know. Every single thing, it basically pandered to the IWC. Kalisto won his title. Ambrose and Owens got a ridiculous amount of time to do their match. Sasha Banks returned. The New Day retained. AJ debuted. We're going to get to that later. Sami Zayn, I guess, re-debuted on the main roster. Lots of people got lots of time. Bray Wyatt, who always gets buried. They took out Brock Lesnar. I'm just saying. So all the internet darlings in a proximal radius there got the push, and they're going to say, I bet, that because they don't like the absolute end of the last match, that match is bad, that the pay-per-view is bad, that, you know, ridiculous amounts of new people, new influx people didn't get a chance to shine, and that's just crap. In my personal opinion, they really have no choice in the current era with so many people injured, with the two main, I hate to use this term more than once, but quote unquote golden boys, Randy Orton and John Cena, are both gone. So the people that shout at the top of their lungs same old shit really, and I do mean really, do not have a leg to stand on here. Everything is good. I loved the Royal Rumble. Now, lost my train of thought. Will it carry on into Raw? That's the question. The answer is, oh, and fuck yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your January 25th Raw review. Caught the pre-show, as I do sometimes. The only thing we really knew coming out of the pre-show is that we were going to get Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks tonight. But what you really needed to know going into tonight as to what we were going to address, etc., you got from the Rumble, which I just spoke about. New U.S. champion, same women's champion, same tag champion, same IC champion, new world champion, which everybody likes to bitch about, but I digress. We start the show with a video recap of last night and the big screw job of Roman Reigns and rah. I will say I don't like the whole the way they treated Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble. The whole, he's going to gut through it all. He's going to go from number one and do it all. You don't take him out of the match if you're going to tell that story. That much I will agree with. The fact that he came in number one, the fact that he was the second last guy eliminated, the fact that they teased an Ambrose title run, all those were good things. But if you're going to tell the story of he was the first guy in and the second last guy eliminated, you don't take him out in the middle for a big chunk. I know it contributes to the, Vince McMahon has the League of Nations in his back pocket, and they did the dirty work, and they took him completely out of the equation. And we're hoping that it'll look like a big heroic comeback later on, when really it's just like he didn't go through the whole match. He had a big break in the middle, and you saw it. He had a good reaction at the beginning of the show, or I won't say a good reaction, but an okay reaction at the beginning. When he left and came back, the boos were loud. I mean, you put him up against AJ Styles coming out at number 3. You have him come back right before Triple H comes out. Triple H, as much as you might hate him, people are still less sold on Roman Reigns. So if the two guys in the ring are Triple H and Roman Reigns, Triple H is the one that's going to get cheered for, is he not? Especially when he's been taken out. We haven't seen him in a month. They've done a good job keeping him off TV. It's been Stephanie and Vince holding the load there for the Authority, while Triple H has been gone selling the injury, etc. But you keep him off TV for that long, it's gonna get a babyface-ish pop when he comes back. I don't care if he's a heel or a face or whatever. You got somebody established enough, like Triple H, that's been gone for a while. People are gonna pop just to see him, not because they love him. Not because, you know, he's best for business, but it's just a thing. And it's one of those things where everybody is a little bit bitter, a little bit jaded, and it's, okay, I don't cheer you necessarily because you're Triple H. I cheer you because you're against Roman Reigns. I cheer you for the same reason any opponent of John Cena gets cheered, because he's not John Cena. Triple H, A, has all the respect in the world that he deserves, point blank. Second of all, he got cheered because he wasn't Roman Reigns. This is a true fact. Vince and Stephanie come out to start off the show, though. Vince tells the fans to shut up. He mocks Roman Reigns and talks about how last night at the Royal Rumble they broke him in two. He gets very solemn, very severe. He says he has a confession to make. It's the first time he's ever confessed in front of a large audience. He says he enjoys the misfortunes of others. And then they brag about Triple H. Stephanie brags about her man. Vince brags about his son-in-law and about how he stole the title and he's the best in the world and nobody's as good as him and rah-rah-rah-rah. Triple H comes out, and it is kind of funny because he does still come out to the game and King of Kings and all that sort of thing. First words out of his mouth are, "It's good to be king," which I like. He talks Roman Reigns up only to tear him down. It's like he brings him up in such a way that it's like, yeah, he could be the best guy in the company. He's got all this potential, rah-rah-rah-rah. Key word is he could be. But he's not, because he doesn't have respect, he's disrespectful, he doesn't respect Vince. And he goes on a bit of an awkward trail about Vince. Vince, he says, is a god to all of us, because without him, we wouldn't all be here, and that is true in the wrestling realm. He goes further on to say that because Vince is God, the WWE is Triple H's religion. I like that. That's a good little thing. He says, you know, anybody could come up and ask me, hey, I've had this great career. I've had all these accomplishments. I've won this, that, and the next thing, and I've transitioned into the office. Why would I need to be champion? And he says, I don't really need to be, but I want to be. And I want to be until somebody else in the locker room proves that they deserve to be. People like Roman Reigns don't deserve to be. Rah. Steph cuts him off and basically says, tonight we're going to announce the main event for Fastlane. The winner of Fastlane will go on to face Triple H at WrestleMania, which is great. During my commercial break here, I don't know if this goes all over or if this is just because of the area that I'm in, I am going to the next, I've mentioned this before, I'm going to the next WWE live special thing, televised house show thing that they do at the Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto, and the main event for that apparently is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt, which makes me a happy kid. Also, I come back to the show, the main show, and they announced that later on tonight we're going to get Styles versus Jericho. AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles versus Y2J Chris Jericho. And we're already off to the races. This is already a great, great night. Ziggler versus Owens is next. Owens comes out, obviously selling the beatdown. I will say, the one thing, and the commentators did a good thing of pointing this out at the Royal Rumble, when Owens went through the last man standing match with Ambrose at the beginning of the night, and then he comes out when his number is called for the actual Royal Rumble match. He's limping. He's almost dragging his leg down the rampway. Now, it's all good. He's selling, which Owens does, which is great. But the commentators made a good point of pointing out, hey, regardless of what you might think of this guy and his actions and his attitude and whatever, you got to give him credit for coming back out. That was a really... And they hit on that for... you know, multiple instances throughout the Rumble match. How's he doing this, considering the match he had earlier? The commentary's shoddy at the best of times on Raw and for pay-per-views or whatever, but I think the fact that they really emphasized that, they did a lot of good things for Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens obviously worked his ass off, and that is a thing. He went on, I can say this now because Sami Zayn isn't on this show at all, which is kind of disappointing. He went on to develop possible future stories with AJ Styles being the one to eliminate AJ Styles from the Rumble. And we revisited the Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn feud from NXT, and that took center stage of the Rumble for a little bit. So lots of cool things they could do with Owens in the future. But Owens versus Ziggler tonight is good. We got a wrecking ball like Owens and a ragdoll like Dolph Ziggler. Super kick by Ziggler to start the match. I like this because Ziggler comes out, he does his show-off thing. He does a little bit of a, you know, primping and preening, like the pretty boy stuff on the rampway. But I like that he does stuff like this to prove that once he's in the match, once the match is started, it is all business. Excuse me, guys. It's dry as fuck, and therefore so is my throat. Owens bails immediately. They brawl to the outside. Ziggler eats rail. Mudhole stomp by Owens and a boot and a dropkick by Ziggler take us to the first commercial break of the evening. Collar and elbow tie up, and they trade punches as we come back from the commercial break. Owens grounds Ziggler and rides a headlock. Literally takes him from a standing position down into his headlock. I think it's good. I think it's a lot better than just, knocking somebody over and then locking in your headlock when you're down there. Owen eats post, shoulder first, eats a famouser. Ziggler locks on a backpack sleeper, which is good, which is almost cliche at this point to be transferred into a backpack stunner by whoever's receiving the sleeper, but that doesn't happen in this case. Cannonball by Owens misses, which looks funny. Belly to back suplex by Owens does not miss, however, and it looks dirty. He plants Ziggler fucking hard, who sells like a boss, like always. Super kick by Ziggler and a mudhole stump by him, which is heely, but hashtag, or it's at heel Ziggler on Twitter, isn't it? Owens throws Ziggler off the top and eats a boot hard. Owens crotch, I can't read my own writing, guys, you know this. Ziggler tries to do something from the top, and Owens tosses him off. Goes up to the top again, gets crotched by Owens, and eats a pop-up powerbomb by Owens, who gets the win. The entire time, every time he's pulling off something big, even the pop-up powerbomb, Owens is struggling, he's selling the leg, he's selling the beatdown, which makes Ambrose, at the end of the day, look like $1 million, doesn't he? It makes the champion, he's the challenger. He didn't quite get the job done, but he had the hell beat out of him to not get the job done so that Ambrose looks like $1 million. I like that a lot. Social Outcasts come out because they're in Orlando, and Flo Rida is in the front row because Flo Rida's song "My House" or "This Is Our House" or something like that is the theme for WrestleMania. So those countdowns to this many days till WrestleMania, it's a big long clip, and this many days till WrestleMania. You guys know how it goes, but it's another Flo Rida song. I would love it if WWE would make these tight musical relationships that they have with like Flo Rida and Kid Ink and MGK and Skylar Grey. I wish they would have those relationships with people like, Limp Bizkit or Disturbed or Hailstorm, if you don't get enough Hailstorm on this channel, that is. But, it is what it is. They have a working relationship with Flo Rida. He's doing another theme for them. 50-50 chance he's probably performing at WrestleMania. That could be a thing. Heath Slater comes out, cuts a promo, gets in Flo Rida's face. Bo invites him into a 4-on-1 match, which, of course, he's not a wrestler. Why would he answer that? Heath says, instead, why don't we have a rap battle? But not a rap battle with me. Bo Dallas comes out, puts on some sunglasses, puts on some bling, calls himself Bo Rida. And actually, they actually do have a battle rap, and it's fucking horrible. And then Flo Rida does his own rap, which isn't that much better, to be quite honest with you. The sum total of his rap is, hey, you've got a match with the Dudleys. Dudleys versus Bo and Axel. The commentators talk about how 1 year later, Curtis Axel's finally been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Slater tries to distract. The match is crap. The Dudleys should be doing much better than this, so I'm not getting into it. Slater tries to distract at one point. He gets dumped into the ring by Flo Rida, who get a what's up by the Dudleys. Dudleys win with a 3D. What did this do for anybody other than give Flo Rida a spot on the show? I don't know. But, that was the down. That was the down and out portion of the evening. And everything else after this is great until the main event, but we'll get there when we get there. Styles versus Jericho. Styles and Jericho have a little spiel in the back where Styles is getting interviewed. Jericho not quite being a heel, but kind of like, hey, I know you. You've been here and here and here. You've won titles elsewhere. You should have been here a long time ago. This is the big leagues. Now it's your time to step up, and they have a match coming up next. Styles coming down to the ring, and when you hear about all the contract bullshit that TNA has been putting out on social media, how as soon as it was announced that he was signing with WWE, they tried to slander him and say that he had signed contracts with them and whatnot and all that sort of thing. It is true that most mainstream wrestling fans know AJ Styles from TNA, so I love it when Styles is coming down to the ring. His music sucks, by the way. Can we please get AJ Styles some better music? That is fucking horrible. The look on Roman Reigns' face when Styles came down at the Rumble is my reaction to AJ Styles' music. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, AJ Styles, okay. But as he's coming down to the rampway, he's screaming at the top of his lungs, "This is where I should have been all along. Fuck you, TNA." I love it. He didn't say fuck you, TNA, obviously. Collar and elbow tie up in a tight corner to corner as we start off the match. Side headlock by Jericho, and they trade arm locks. Arm lock into an arm drag by Styles. Collar and elbow and chops by Jericho. They trade blows in a flying forearm, as he's well known for, by AJ Styles. Shoulders and chops in the corner by Jericho. Springboard dropkick by Styles off the apron. Standing vertical suplex by Jericho. Chops by Styles and a boot by Jericho. Chops and a dropkick by Styles. Right before they go into commercial break, there's a trip by Jericho. Styles is on the apron. Takes the legs out from under him, but I think he does it a little too well because he looks like he legit shoot like face plants on the edge of the apron. It doesn't look nice. If it was a little bit of a botch, I don't mind because it made the match look more brutal. If it was done intentionally, then good job by both guys. Anyways, regardless, that faceplant takes us into commercial break. Jericho's riding a headlock when we come back. Double cross body spot, both men down. They both sell it great. They both ragdoll for each other, which is nice. Crazy kick punch combinations by Styles in the corner. They use that particular spot to emphasize his history in Japan, his titles that he's won in Japan. JBL pointing out that one of the titles that AJ Styles has won is also one that Brock Lesnar has won, which is an interesting little thing. They've got a pin reverse, a Northern Lights suplex by Jericho takes us into a pinning reversal sequence and an enziguri by Jericho. Springboard flying forearm by Styles. Walls of Jericho and Styles breaks and a Pele kick, but Styles misses a frog splash. Jericho goes for the lion salt. Styles gets his knees up. We have a pinning reversal sequence and Styles gets the win. This is my only problem with this match. We got the Pele, we got the flying forearms. The one thing we didn't get, and we didn't get it at the Royal Rumble even though it was teased so many times, I want to see the Styles Clash. I know they're holding back on it. Maybe he's going to use the Styles Clash at his next big moment, at his first pay-per-view, one-on-one match or whatever. But a pinning reversal sequence and a quick, what looked like a scoop victory for Styles on his debut on Raw isn't the strongest statement to make. I mean, I'm going into a little, old school. But if you're gonna book somebody and you're gonna have them win, you're gonna have them win clean because there's no real babyface and heel in this match. So there's no interference, no shenanigans, no bullshit. So you want to have your win be a clean win, and you want to establish not only this new superstar to anybody that doesn't know who AJ Styles is, but you also want to establish his offense. We established the flying forearms that he does, the ones that he does straight up and the ones that he does off the rope. We established the Pele kick, which is just fucking gorgeous. Finish it off, put the last page on the book, show us the Styles Clash. This is AJ Styles, this is what he does. That's my only nitpick. Other than that, great match. Styles calls Jericho back over to his corner of the ring after the match. They do a handshake, but it's a tense handshake, and if they want to carry this as a storyline going into Fastlane and these guys want to have another match there, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. One of them's got to go heel. Now, Jericho, we know, can be heel. Jericho to flip babyface to babyface to heel and show that diversity in his repertoire, we know that he's that diverse. So what I want to see if AJ Styles can go heel. And go up against a face Jericho, because Jericho's going to get cheered regardless, isn't he? So let's see if WWE will play around with a heel AJ Styles. But either way, it's good. Going from that to another match that I really want to see and also really deserves to be on a pay-per-view, we've got Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. We replay the footage from last night. Charlotte screwing over Becky once again. Sasha Banks coming down and making it look like she's teaming up with Charlotte after the match for a beatdown, but then she puts the bank statement on Charlotte as well. Basically, she wants to be back in the mix. In the graphic for the match, it showed her in a Team Bad t-shirt. When she came down to the ring, the graphic with her name on it said Sasha Banks from Team Bad, which breaks my heart because her coming out by herself on Sunday made me believe that they were getting rid of this Team Bad bullshit, and the anchor around her waist, known as Tamina and Naomi, I thought were out of the question, and I thought we were just going to have these three going forward. If that's not the case, I'm really, really sad. Pie face by Sasha Banks starts off the match. A double leg and a mounted punch by Becky is her rebuttal to that, so to speak. Sasha eats turnbuckle hard. Mudhole stomp by Sasha and blows to the head. Sasha vices the head and neck. This is where I would usually say, oh, so-and-so rides a headlock. But no, she clamps the shoulder, vices the head, and it looks fucking disastrous. It's good. Snapmare and elbows by Becky and a corner splash. Exploder suplex by Becky, which gets prettier every week. Corner double knee drop by Sasha. Suplex roll through armbar by Becky Lynch. Bank statement by Sasha. Looks like it's going to get the win when a run in by Charlotte, who jumps in, tosses Sasha Banks out and boots Becky instead. Sasha comes in. Charlotte and Sasha brawl, bow down to the queen, and Charlotte stands tall with the belt, with Daddy beside her, and it's just like, why? I know you got the belt, but why are you here? Charlotte is quickly becoming one of those people that comes out and I say why. And the fact that the person that comes out and makes me say why has the belt is a big indicator that she shouldn't have the belt, is it not? Nepotism is alive and well in the WWE. But still, the match was great. If they insist on having Charlotte with the belt, and this is going to be a triple threat sort of deal going forward, I have no problem with that. But I'd rather it be just Becky and Sasha, or Becky, Sasha, and Paige. Paige we'll get to later on. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with her either. Awkward segment in the back with Goldust and R-Truth. Goldust is listening to R-Truth's headphones. R-Truth says, hey, that's mine, da-da-da. Goldust has a really creepy promo about how he's looking for a new partner. R-Truth finds every awkward way possible to say that he's married and he's not gay. Goldust says, no, I'm looking for a tag team partner. Think about it. We could be the Golden Truth. If this actually happens, I can't say I won't sit back with a smirk on my face and just, because wrestling. That's it. It's better than the gimmick that R-Truth is doing right now. Basically, the gimmick that R-Truth is doing right now is that he's an idiot. When they were getting ready for Money in the Bank, he came out to cut a promo on how he was going to win, and they cut him off saying he wasn't in the match. He came out to the Royal Rumble last night with a ladder, climbed up to the top, and asked where the briefcase was. It's funny for a little bit, but I don't like it going forward, because if your gimmick is that you're an idiot, I mean, at this point, he just celebrated his 50th birthday, didn't he? They showed some live clips on Twitter of Titus O'Neil and some other people wishing him happy birthday and happy 50th or whatever. So if they're going to give him a big-ass push, they're not going to give him a big-ass push. But if you have ever had any dreams of people taking R-Truth even remotely seriously ever again, try portraying him as a guy that knows what month it is. That's just a way, that's just something going forward. Wyatt versus Kane, I wrote down all the details of, because I really did think it was going to go forward with the Wyatt and Lesnar story, but it was a boring match, which is sad because Bray Wyatt's not boring, but oh my god, Kane hit a DDT in this match that just was ugly. It was just, he basically sort of halfway hugged Bray Wyatt and fell over, and this match was just bad. 4-on-1 beatdown after the match. I guess it's to make the Wyatts look strong, but I mean, you took out Lesnar at the pay-per-view last night, so this is not going to do anything different. This is not going to be more impressive than taking out Brock Lesnar. It's Kane, and we all know what Kane brings to the table these days, do we not? We've been told all night. Sorry, guys, my camera's flashing at me. It's doing a thing. Hold on one second. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. My battery indicator thing was flashing right up here, even though my battery is full. We've been portraying all night that there's going to be a surprise comeback. Some big star is going to come back tonight on Raw. Now, we've been trying as hard as we can to cover up the fact that it's going to be The Rock because we're in Miami and Roddy Rah. But it was rumored by several sources, including my good friend and former co-host Steffi Sunshine, that it was going to be Jeff Hardy. Now, I know the rest of you are going to scoff at that and are going to scoff at me for still being a Jeff Hardy fan, but I do not give a fuck. The abacus to count the fucks that I do not give is huge. If it had been Jeff Hardy, I would have marked out and I would have laughed in each and every one of your faces respectfully. But it is The Rock. But how did we introduce The Rock? We introduced The Rock with a backstage segment. There's a big limo. We said, we're going to see who the returning superstar is, right, and out comes The Miz. The Miz comes out, he starts talking about himself. He gets cut off by The Rock's truck. The Rock tells him to shut up and park his truck, which is great. Rock comes through, sees the Big Show. They start talking about the Royal Rumble, where The Rock last eliminated the Big Show to win the whole damn thing. Talks about how the Big Show should have won, because the movie directors that were casting for Scorpion King said they were going to give the role to whoever won, and you could have had my life and my roles, and da-da-da-da. My life could be your life, and Big Show cries and breaks a laptop and such. Then he goes on to Lana and Rusev, talks about all the dirty, nasty things apparently he did with Lana, and talks about how, you know, Rusev's lucky to have her because she's a hell of a woman and she's all right. Then finally, no pun intended, goes down to the ring. Before he even starts cutting his promo, he goes down, he says to the announcers, hey, we're all getting ready for WrestleMania. It's a big hype spot for WrestleMania. We're all excited about WrestleMania. Michael Cole's excited for WrestleMania. JBL's excited for WrestleMania. That other black guy that's next to them, what's your name? And he pauses for an awkward amount of time, never really giving Byron Saxton a name, which is great. Then he stops his entire promo. He says, this is where we go off script. Goes to 4 guys in the crowd that are dressed as The Undertaker, dressed as Savage, dressed as Hogan, and dressed as The Rock. Tells the guy dressed as The Rock that he's the most handsome looking guy of the lot. Obviously, he says to the guy dressed as Hogan, the weed is really good in Miami, isn't it? Which is great, because not only do you have a narcotics reference on Raw, you got one of your biggest stars talking to a guy that the company isn't relating to anymore and is a potential racist and porn star. You got Savage, who's dead, that's fine, that's tribute, whatever, and you got another guy dressed as The Undertaker, who's there as well. Hypes up Mania, hypes up Mania, hypes up Mania, talks about how it's good to be home, interrupted by The New Day, who mock the Lucha Dragons and mock your relatives, the Usos. You're not the people's champ, you don't have any gold, rah. He makes fun of them. What is it? He says the unicorn things that they have on their heads are llama penises, and everybody starts chanting llama penis, to which point I go online, because I'm clever as fuck, and say, yep, hashtag llama penises is going to trend worldwide. And I looked up the hashtag just for the hell of it, and it blew up, because it's The Rock, and that's what he does. He challenges them 3-on-1. If we got a ring, we got ropes, we got a stadium, we got a bunch of people that want to see it. You guys come and take me on. They say no. Usos come down, beat them down. Rock bottom on Big E, a double super kick from the Usos, a spine buster, and a rock bottom, all by Woods. Whenever there's a big clusterfuck like this, it's always Xavier Woods that gets the brunt of it, which is fine. He's the guy that's always on the outside when there's a tag team match, so he doesn't see as much match time. But when there's a big beatdown on the New Day, it's always Xavier Woods. If Austin came down to the ring tomorrow, or I should say Thursday, on SmackDown, and was to stun one of the New Day members, it would be Xavier Woods, wouldn't it? Francesca too, they got the belts and all that sort of thing. It's all good. It's frigging all good. It really is. Funny as hell. It accomplished nothing other than hyping up WrestleMania that's still 3 months away, but it was funny. It made me laugh. I could turn my brain off for a second, and these guys were all funny as fuck, and the Usos got to rub elbows with their cousin, I think, The Rock. Natty and Paige versus Brie and Alicia was a thing. I don't know why the WWE has put Natty and Paige together. They're going out of their way to not tell us, and the Bella Twins, with Nikki not there, are becoming more and more irrelevant by the day. But Alicia and Natty trade arm locks to start the match. Head scissor by Alicia Fox is pretty good, and a slam by Brie. Brie rides a headlock, turns it into an armbar, and sets it up for, say it loud, say it proud, the Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Super kick and a high knee and a running knee by Paige. PTO by Paige, but the save is made by Alicia Fox. Really botchy, spinny, clothesliney thing from Natalya. Thankfully doesn't get the win, but what does get the win is a rampage by Paige, and it's pretty. Paige and Daddy get the win. For what reason? I don't know. I really want better things for. Why isn't Paige in the title storyline with the other good diva? I don't know. We replay Kalisto winning at the Royal Rumble against Alberto Del Rio. Miz is all pissed off, comes out to cut a promo about how people always cut him off, always interrupt him, always take his spotlight, and in the middle of him talking, Kalisto's music hits. They have a match. It's okay. It's basically a showcase of what Kalisto does, which is a lot of kicks and stuff, and pendulum kicks and seated sentons and springboards, corkscrews and all that sort of thing. Counters the skull-crushing finale into an SDS for the win. my pity for The Miz continues. Kalisto looked great, and it's all good. SmackDown, we're going to get Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose on the highlight reel, which is nice. The main event is Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus and Rusev with Barrett and Alberto Del Rio in their corner. It's a standard brawl, really. Anytime, cut and paste, anytime you've seen the League of Nations versus these two, and that's pretty much what you've got. Hot tag, Roman kills everybody. After the match, they, obviously the babyfaces win, because that's the thing. I don't know who's more Job Squad, the League of Nations or Social Outcasts, but to make up for last night when they splashed Roman Reigns through the table, Ambrose helps Roman get Rusev up on the table, and they do the old 2/3 of the Shield bomb through the announce table to end off the match. Stephanie McMahon comes out, says she's very impressed by Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. They will be in a triple threat along with Brock Lesnar at Fastlane. The winner of that match will face Triple H at WrestleMania. To which I say, good luck, Dean. You've got the other two favorites of the company in a match with you. You're probably eating the pin, which is unfortunate. This was good. Even the matches that I didn't give a shit about served a purpose. Even the matches that weren't that great served a purpose. Jericho and Styles was great. Becky and Sasha was great before Charlotte got involved. I'm really sad with what they're doing with Paige. I'm always sad with what they're doing with The Miz. Rock and New Day were entertaining. For a post-Rumble Raw to a great Royal Rumble, this was a great Raw. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the box below. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. You know the drill. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.